What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Regrowth. Oh yeah, guys. So I've been spending a lot of time here in this world doing some things. Yeah, this floor that we're standing on right now, we now have a fully completed underneath our little agricultural island that we have the automatic farming going on. Yep. Unfortunately, though, I decided it needed to be lowered 2 blocks from where it was before, so most of that platform, like the 2/3 we already had filled, I had to remove and then lower it down. Yeah, the reason why I wanted to do that is so we could make a bigger steam boiler. We could have already made this thing like the maximum size with where this thing was, but then it'd be touching the ceiling. I think that would just look terrible. So at this point, we can move it down 2 blocks, put the fireboxes on the floor. We'll have room for me to stand on top of the steam boiler when we get everything figured out to the right size. Yep, and I think it's just going to overall be better. We kind of want to have more of these steam boilers going on so we can have more of these engines going and we can provide ourselves with more power. That's the idea here. I've also kind of laid out, you can see the borders here, where the other 4 max size farms are going to be. Yeah, I got that all squared away and figured out. I don't have all the blocks in place, and obviously I don't have the farm itself in place on these, but I just wanted to lay out the borders so I know where blocks are going to be placed later on. I have switched the farm over. We are no longer making the blaze essence, and turning those into blaze rods. We are now making coal. Yep, it seems like coal is going to be a little bit better. We get more burn time per craft from the essence into the coal itself, and we need coal for a lot of things in mekanism. Yeah, converting iron to wrought iron, and the wrought iron into the enhanced iron, and then the enhanced iron into the steel or whatever. Is it enhanced iron? I think it's called something else. Enriched iron, maybe. Anyway, so we got some things going on here. This is all going to be changed a little bit later. And then I started messing around a little bit with the mekanism logistical transporters. So from all that I can gather from those pipes, they seem like they're very much similar to Red Power 2? Something like that. Anyway, the pipes, as far as I can tell, even though you can set them to push and pull, they seem to need this item, the logistical sorter, in order for items to actually enter the pipes. So I'm not sure how this all works. This is the only way I could get items to go from an inventory into the pipe network and then into another inventory is by using this logistical sorter. You can see right there, it just clicked on and sent some blocks of coal over here. We can remove these and it will just refill up all of those. Yeah, we can do like half a stack and it'll refill that. It's pretty awesome. I do like these. Let's go and fill this up. You can see we have a decent amount of coal blocks in here too. We have over 800, almost 900 now coal blocks. So our farm is doing rather well as far as that's concerned. But this logistical sorter, we have to set a configuration here. We want to filter on it. We don't want to pull out the regular coal. We want the coal blocks because it, burns longer. So the way this is set up is we just put a piece of coal here. It said maximum 64. I guess that's the maximum it can pull out at a time. I was thinking this was the maximum that it would keep in the inventory of our boiler over here, but no, that's not the case. I'm still learning mekanism. I really don't know much about this mod. But anyway, you can just save the thing here. And then there's ways you can paint the items. So you can have whatever is ejected. So you wanted the coal blocks to be painted red. They would only go to a pipe that has a red thing at the end. Or you could paint them blue and they'd only go to the pipe that has blue. That way you could have this logistical sorter pumping out of, for instance, our drawer controller. Yeah, we could have lots of different things like blaze rods going one way, coal going another way, etc., etc. So it is very configurable, but for our setup here, I still feel like it's not going to work the way I want it to work. I was having problems getting this thing connected up to our farm over here. Yeah, I wanted the logistical transporter pipes just to go from, the bottom side down into our drawer controller and then filter out items like we've been able to do with many other pipes, but just doesn't seem like it works that way. So, yeah, the way this is set up now, the coal essence is coming down directly into our auto assembler. From here, it's just going into the compacting drawer, turning into the blocks, and then this thing is just pulling the blocks out and sticking it into the steam boiler. It's all very simple and basic. eventually we're gonna, move on from this, and we won't have to worry about all of these different pipe networks and all of this stuff. But for right now, this is gonna get the job done. All right, guys, so what I want to do now is I want to look at making ourselves a max size steam boiler. We're going to do the solid fuel firebox like we were doing before. These can be, I think, 3 or 4 blocks tall, but these high pressure boiler tanks require a lot of steel. So I am currently in the process of making steel from Mekanism. So you have to put the iron ingots in the crusher, you get the iron dust out, you put the iron dust in the metallurgic infuser with coal. I guess carbon is what you need. Yep, just like so. And then that converts into the wrought iron. You put that in again, that turns it into the, let me see if we go to uses on this. Enriched iron, and the uses for the enriched iron, once again in there for steel dust, and then we can just smelt that down either in the crucible, the smeltery, or regular vanilla smelting. So it takes a lot of coal to get this done, and this process is rather slow because we don't have any upgrades. So we should look at getting the speed upgrades for these things. I think that might make a lot of sense to do. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep babysitting this thing. So if we look at the mechanism section here, we can look at all the different upgrades. So speed upgrades, these are what we're looking for. And these require cobalt plates, mana lens, velocity. So we're going to have to make a bunch of runes of air to do this. Yeah. And then, well, actually, what was the other thing? Mana lens. So we need some mana steel. All right, so that's fine. And then we need the enriched alloy, which is redstone in the metallurgic infuser with iron. So maybe what I should do is let all the carbon process out of this thing first, so I don't waste it. I mean, we have unlimited coal, right? So I guess that doesn't really matter. Let this carbon run all the way through, make all of the stuff that we can make right now, and then look at making some of the redstone iron things, whatever those were called. I can't remember. The enriched alloy. Yeah, maybe we should look at making a bunch of these so we can get this done. I guess the first things first, I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of these runes of air. Yeah, we need to get a lot of this stuff done. Maybe what I should do first of all is just make sure we have a decent amount of mana over here. We've used some mana for some infusion crafting previously, or runic altar crafting. I can't remember. Yeah, we got a decent amount. I guess we can just drop some coal blocks over here. I never did get around to making the TNT flowers. We were going to use these. Oh, did that? Oh, that's right. We have 8 of these things now. I forgot. Hold shift so it doesn't get sucked into me again. There we go. All right, so now we're making a decent amount of mana. All right, well, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get some of this stuff done. Try and make some of those upgrades. It's going to take a minute for all that to happen. It's going to take even longer for me to make all this steel without them. So anyway, let me get to that, guys, and we will be right back. All right, guys. Well, I've been working on this for quite some time, getting all of those upgrades for our mechanism machines, and I had to actually go and grow some cobalt ingots. We needed cobalt plates for those. So yeah, I've been at this for quite some time. So anyway, we got our steam boiler, the max size one, currently done. It's currently in the process of heating up. We're at 51C. And we got blocks of coal in here, letting this thing heat up off of those. And then I filled in the additional spots over here with regular pieces of coal. That way we don't have to have 4 stacks of coal blocks in here. Yeah, that's just a little excessive. I think we're never going to need that much in here at any given time. But yeah, you can see quite the big size difference here. For instance, this steam boiler, the smaller one, only holds 32 buckets of water and can produce 256 buckets of steam, whereas this one holds 144 buckets of water and will be able to produce 1,152 buckets of steam. Yeah, that's quite a significant difference here, but this thing also takes forever to heat up. So we have to wait for this thing to start producing steam before we can tear this one down. Otherwise, we're going to run out of power and things just won't happen on their own, right? So once that happens and we start producing steam off this, we'll move our engines to start using the steam off here. And this will be able to power a lot more engines and we can power a lot more farms. I think that's going to make a lot of sense. Also, when we get to that point, we'll tear this smaller one down. We'll move it over to our main base, and then that'll allow us to have some steam power over there, which can power some engines and provide us with always on power, which is going to be awesome. At that point, once we have power, we can start looking at getting applied energistics online. Yeah, because that requires power to run. So you can tell already that these steam engines are kind of loud and kind of annoying to stand next to. So when we do get these steam boilers over at the main base, we're going to have to dig down in the ground, probably like 20 blocks under the base or whatever, set up the steam boiler, and that's where the engines are going to be. I want those out of earshot. I don't want to hear those things all the time when we're over crafting things or doing whatever it is that we do over there. Yeah, that's no good. So we're going to have to set up like a boiler room or whatever way underneath the base. Where are we at here? We're at 64. All right, so about 2/3 of the way there. Cool. So I'm just going to let that thing do its thing, heat up. Everything's being taken care of. The logistical sorter is piping in the blocks of coal. I don't have to look at it. It'll just heat up eventually. Yeah, these upgrades that we put over here, I put in 4. Yeah, the way these work, let me pull one out. So yeah, you can press this button, you select the upgrade here, and then you press this button, you can eject one. You can see right here, it says 3 out of 8. You can stick it right here. It takes a second for it to be inserted into the machine. Yeah, and then that increases the effect. So that makes this machine speed up. Now you can put up to 8 of those in a single machine, but I've only have 4 in there because the amount of power that we can make right now, yeah, won't be able to keep up. We have to make the power upgrades, I think. Let me just search for upgrade. Maybe it's called energy upgrade. So there's the speed. Yeah, energy upgrade is what that thing is called. So in order to get this thing, we have to make more mana lenses, which is more mana steel, and then rune of water, which is vanilla fishing rods, sugar canes, and bone meal. The mana steel and the mana powder. The mana steel takes up a lot of our reserve mana. I have to get some more of that stuff going. Yeah, and then we're also gonna need some more of these enriched alloys. Well, I guess I can go ahead and get some of those going right now. We had some more iron essence. Yeah, we were running low on iron. We had some more iron essence over here. So I went ahead and made like a little over 2 stacks of iron, and then I smelted that all down. And now we got these. So there is 32 iron. Let's grab 32 redstone. Yeah, it's 1-to-1. And then you guys can kind of see the speed difference, the way this thing goes. So it goes decently quick now. Yep. And then it's running, I think I have it set off to run off this battery. Yeah, just so we're not running on our fuel all the time. We got like 3 of these tanks left or whatever, but I don't want to have to run out and then have to refine more oil. That's just not good. I'd rather use our coal and have steam power going eventually. So I'm trying to be very, very conservative with this stuff. Anyway, you can see that this is going at a decent speed now. I think there's also a machine from Mekanism that's like a furnace. I would like to get one of those going. I'm pretty tired of using these vanilla furnaces over here. Yeah, and I filled these all up with blaze rods a little while ago just because we had a ridiculous amount. Did I show you guys how many blaze rods we have? Look at all these blaze lamps. Each one of these blocks is 9 blaze rods, so each stack is 9 stacks of blaze rods. Yeah, we got quite a few of those, so I was just using those for fuel for right now. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and work on a few more things around here. I might get some ardite essence going. I have to make a bunch of the ardite seeds. Like I said, I already got some cobalt ones over here. Yeah, because we need a lot of cobalt for those upgrades. The efficiency ones, the energy upgrades. Yeah, those are going to need the ardite one. So I'll probably take these all down. I think we're good on the cobalt for right now. Switch those out for the ardite and then start doing the same process all over again. I'm not looking forward to making all of those fishing rods for all of the runes of water, but you got to do what you got to do. How much essence do we have right here? We have 720. That's going to make a decent amount of the ore. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and get at this, and we'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, I've been busy since that last clip. In fact, I've been playing for like the last couple of hours now. Yeah, I was able to make the upgrades, the energy upgrades here. So with all 8 of those energy and all 8 of the speed upgrades in here, we are now able to run this particular machine, the metallurgic infuser, yeah, off 4 of these combustion engines. So since we're able to run that machine with all the speed upgrades in there, it runs pretty quickly, and I was able to create a decent amount of steel. Right. So I also found out to take 1 piece of iron, well, I guess the crushed iron from the crusher, to convert that into a piece of steel, it takes 8 coal, right? So if we want to do a stack of iron, it's going to take 8 stacks of coal. So that's a lot of coal, but we got, you know, pretty much unlimited supply over there. So it's a good thing that we switched over from the blaze rods to the coal, because we're going to need a lot of that stuff for making this steel. So since we had a lot of steel, I decided it'd be a good idea to take the steam boiler, the smaller one, that little 2x2x2 or whatever, the small one that we had running our farm over there, and move it over here. But instead of just setting it up exactly the same, I decided that we should, make another max size steam boiler for over here. Yep, and so I dug out a little room so we can run some wiring. And then way down here, far, far away, so we don't have to hear these engines. Well, they're not making sounds right now for some reason. But yeah, so we don't have to hear these engines later. Why is that one running so weirdly? Let me look at this thing. This one doesn't have steam in it for some reason. Why does that not have steam in it? I don't know. Anyway, there must be something weird with the redstone signal. I'll figure that out in a minute. Yeah, so we have this max size steam boiler all the way down here, far enough away where these engines can run freely and we won't be able to hear them when they are making sounds while we're doing stuff in the base, which is the idea. Yeah, so we got 3 of these going right now. I think we can hook up a decent amount. I'm not sure how many more, probably like 8, 10, or 12 of them. Yeah, so we'll have a decent amount of power once we get all that stuff hooked up. Right now, I've only made 3 of these engines, obviously. So yeah, this power wire is coming down underneath and running a pump that's directly underneath our solid fueled boiler firebox. So yeah, it's touching the water and touching the firebox. No piping underneath there, but it just needs a little bit of power. So that's what we got going on here. So I ran that power cable up and I dug out a little spot underneath our storage area. Yeah, so the wire comes up right here. So we have however much power that is, 240 RF per tick, I think, 80 per. Well, the one isn't working right now for whatever reason, but yeah, we have that power right here. So what that's going to allow us to do is start putting machines in our base area instead of having them outside with the combustion engines. Yeah, we'll also be able to take all this stuff and we'll be able to put those on the digital discs, because now that we have power, we should be able to get Applied Energistics running. But that's going to take a little bit of time to do. Also, I've been noticing that I'm running out of space. I keep having to throw things away. Like, we have 3 spots available here. And I have upgraded this chest. This is an MK3. I could upgrade to an MK4, I think. I don't know if it's going to be worth it, though, because, like I said, we're going to be upgrading to Applied Energistics soon. And everything, all these different chests, will just be in a few different blocks worth of space. So I'll have to think about that. I also left iron ore going over here. Yeah, we're running low on iron, so I grew some more. I left it going, and then I realized, oh, wait. So I ended up smelting all of that down. Yeah, so we got this amount of iron. I kind of set up a little rudimentary automatic smelting thing here using the basic mechanical pipes and a lever. Since these things are redstone controlled, you can turn them on or off with the configurator. Anyway, so it's automatically extracting from the drain, pouring into the casting basin. And underneath there, I just had a hopper, but obviously I've removed that since then. Like I said, I've been doing a lot of stuff off camera. There's just so much work that I had to do. And then downstairs also, where that steam boiler was, there was like a bunch of monsters making sounds. So I went on a little monster hunt and took care of those guys too. I think it was like right through here is where I ended up going, but I guess maybe one over. But yeah, there was like a lot of creepers and skeletons and all sorts of nasty things. There was like a skeleton cat, I think. Yeah, I even went down here into like this little sphere thing, and yeah, I was taking care of a bunch of monsters. A bunch of guys are making sounds and really annoying me while I was trying to work. So anyway, let's go and fill that back in. Yeah, so I got lots of stuff in my inventory because we're running out of space. We're not able to store it. Yeah, you got a little bit more of that steel too from what I was making earlier. Also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but I did make this osmium hammer. Yeah, when I was lowering the floor in underneath our farm area over there, before the start of this episode, yeah, I decided I was going to start upgrading our tools. So first thing, I upgraded this pickaxe. I added like 2 things of haste on there. The shovel, I added 2 things of haste. But then I decided, you know, we have to remove a lot of blocks, so I decided to make ourselves a hammer here. This has got 4 things of haste on there. Yeah, it's made out of osmium, which is one of the faster mining speeds in this mod pack. It's got a manual and paper plate for an extra modifier there, and then manual and top for rod. So we have a lot of durability on this thing. But yeah, since we're able to grow osmium, there's no real reason to not use something like that. But yeah, we'll be able to repair it essentially for free. And I was looking, and I don't think there is a way in this mod pack to put RF on these tools, since we don't have thermal expansion and we can't put a flux capacitor on there. Anyway, those are just things that I was noticing. But anyway, I'm going to continue on here, try and figure out what our next step should be, and we'll be right back, guys. Alright guys, so I think to finish off the day, we're actually going to do a quest. We're going to do the Energized Machinery quest, which is another one of the mekanism ones. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do this. So we only needed to make the Energized Smelter, which is the mekanism furnace, essentially. And then the enrichment chamber, which I'm not 100% sure, but I know we're going to need this for other crafting later on. So let's go ahead and get both of those made. The enrichment chamber, I believe, requires a quartz chipset. Yeah. So I'm making 3 of these because they take forever to make. That's my second one. We're on the third one right now. We should have everything together, though, that we should be able to make these 2 items. So go ahead and make 2 of these steel casings, and then we can go ahead and craft this guy, the enrichment chamber. We'll go and craft the energized smelter. Whoa, what are we missing? Basic control circuit, osmium steel plates. Basic control circuit. I feel like we're missing something. Oh, we don't have the osmium ingots on us. Is that what the problem is? I think that's what the problem is. There we go. Let's grab some osmium from there. And there it is. Okay, so now we got both of those machines complete. So the quest did say, now that you've got a solid power supply and it means to craft enhanced machinery, why not do exactly that? And in doing so, help make things a bit more convenient for yourself. Well, I like that. So that's going to give us 4 more steel casings and 10 more basic control circuits and a little bit of reputation. Looks like that unlocked this quest over here and a few other ones, actually. 1 up completed. This one is to make the speed upgrade and energy upgrades. Well, we already did that. This quest said having all this fancy machinery is excellent and opens up a number of new possibilities, but sometimes they can be a tad slow or use more energy than you like. Why not address this by applying upgrade modules? To apply the upgrade module, we already saw how to do this, but it's kind of nice that they tell you how to do it in case you didn't know. So that's going to give us 4 muffling upgrades, which is super awesome. And we can choose either energy or speed upgrades. Probably the speed upgrades. Well, the energy upgrades require the fishing rods for the thing, but I already made up a bunch of extra ones. Let's do the speed upgrades. And that's also going to give us reputation. Cool. So we got 2 quests done. I only wanted to do 1, but there we go. So we can go down here and I guess we can place some of these machines. So we have our crusher right here. So we'll probably want the energized smelter next to that. Yeah, all these machines are nice and gray looking. And then we have the enrichment chamber, which I suppose will stick over here. I need to grab another one of our basic energy conduit thingies, whatever they are, these basic universal cables. All right, so a basic universal cable goes there. We'll put our rolling machine there is fine. Did I throw something on the ground up here? There it is. All right, there is our enrichment chamber. Cool, so we got a lot of different machines ready to go now. I think I'm going to start working on some of the applied energistics stuff off camera. I do believe we need to grow a decent amount of the Certus quartz. I can't remember. We have some here, but yeah, we definitely need to farm that up. And now that our farm is set up over here to be automatic, that's going to be super easy for us to do. I'll just lay out like 27 of the seeds. Make sure we have a drawer for our storage drawers. Yeah, and we'll just be able to collect a lot of that Certus quartz, and everything is going to be super awesome. I like it. All right, guys. Well, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. I got a lot of stuff done. I put in a lot of time today, actually. More time than I was thinking I was going to need to. But, yeah, it's all good stuff. We got, 2 max size railcraft steam boilers. We got power set up in our main base, which is really great. That'll allow us to tear all of this stuff down. This is pretty ugly anyway. Very temporary stuff for power. Yeah, I like it. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.